What's up, guys? It's SuperRaeDizzle, and I'm sorry about the house, sorry about not getting ready. I am making this video on a whim. So what this video will be is a voiceover of me doing this. And that picture is kind of weird because it was taken from my Instagram. And I do want to talk about yesterday's video. So if you're new here and you have no idea what's going on, you can go ahead and skip to the timestamp, which is right here, and I will see you there. And about yesterday's video. So usually when I upload a do's and don'ts video, I usually upload more of a realistic side to it. And yesterday I was just kind of focused on beginners and I just didn't even think about it. So you guys were still, even though it wasn't realistic hair, it was just hair, and that was really awesome. So I really appreciate your support on that. And I'm sorry I didn't think right off the bat to just put like for beginners or anything like that, but the video is kind of stylized and it is for beginners basically. So since I have a lot of them, I was just kind of thinking about them. And I am making this video for the first time on my YouTube channel. I'm uploading multiple times a week, and I woke up this morning. In fact, you can see my robe in the video. And basically, I just was like so worried about you guys because I was like, what about the advanced artists? They want to see something too. And so I woke up, I filmed this video, and yeah, I hope this video is more of what you guys were wanting yesterday for my advanced people. Again, thank you guys for all the support, and the video is now changed back to for beginners, so it can be just a little bit more clear on who it's for and what it entails and things like that. So again, thank you guys so much for all your awesome support. I hope this video is what you guys were looking for, and I will see you guys next time.
Starting off with my H pencil, I am going to start sectioning off areas of my hair and just kind of start sketching out where I want everything to be. And how I'm making each section is basically a manipulated version of the universal shape that I showed in my last video, the do's and don'ts of hair, beginner slash stylized. And I'm just literally putting in like tons and tons of those and manipulating them to appear like they have curls and twists and turns and things like that. It is still light right now, but as I use darker pencils, you will be able to see the sections better. So I'm going to fast forward it and put all the sections in my hair. And I just kind of wing it and put the sections wherever I want. I like to do big sections and then break them down into little sections. And I like to make my hair a little bit more wavy than just straight, just to kind of imply grouped together pieces of hair. And I am using my mechanical pencil right now. Now that my sections are out, I like to start building up the shadows of my hair. And I'm going to be using my H pencil and my mechanical pencil and my number 2 pencil for this. I'm just going to kind of mess around and see what I like best. And I like to work layer by layer. So the very first layers by the end, they're going to be pretty much pure black. And don't worry if you don't necessarily understand how to put shadows on like chunks of hair. My do's and don'ts video on hair for beginners covers that. So I will link that down below just in case you might be a beginner or you need a refresher. I'm going to further speed up the process since I kind of slowed down one section of what I'm doing. I'm just repeating that step over and over again and just kind of lightly building it up with strokes and blending it out. And the first layer I'm not too worried about because this is not going to be like the final definition of the hair. It's just something I like to blend up. And I am using a charcoal pencil to kind of mark where the pure black areas are. I'm not gonna lie, I do have a hard time differentiating between some of the lines because there are a lot of lines whenever you're doing hair. So I like to get my charcoal pencil and just start going over the areas for sure that I know are going to be pure black and just kind of make it a little bit easier for me to see. Now that we've finished that step, let's fast forward to the next. And this fast forward did take a while because it took me a long time to get the base layer of the hair, and I didn't even finish most of it because I am kind of impatient. So, sorry about the long time lapse. For my next step, I am using my H pencil, my finger, and my mechanical pencil just to kind of define everything, blend everything out, and make it look nice, and just kind of make it like a primer for my next step, which will be using my charcoal pencil to make the pure black areas. I do get really nervous when I start adding the charcoal on there because once it's on, it's not coming off. So I like to be very careful with building it up and blending it out and just making sure I don't create like a muddied look. Like I like to have a nice gradient on the hair and make it look pretty nice and have a nice little contrast to it. So that's just something to look out for if you're wanting to get something similar to what I'm doing. When I'm working on like a blonde or like redhead or somebody who has light hair, I tend to not have as much contrast as I would with a brunette. They're, I guess, more focused on highlights rather than the low lights like a brunette would be. So that's just another thing that I personally try to look out for when I'm working with different hair colors and things like that. A repeated technique that you will see me do throughout this video is to create like a smudged area and then kind of go over it with an eraser to imply a highlight. And it's just a technique that is kind of like a little sneaky way to get in extra detail of hair. A great example is right now. So I have the hair, I'm blending it out to make it all dark, and then I'm erasing it and just kind of adding little strokes of hair just to make a little nice highlight. It's another important thing to note that when you are working on hair that there will be a mid-tone. So it's not going to be super dark, it's not going to be super light. And even the midtones have highlights, even the midtones have low lights. And I feel like that's another little good tip that I like to use whenever I'm drawing hair is just to remember that it's not just going to be bright and dark. It's going to have like a nice little mid section too. So every section that I do generally has like a nice little mid tone, and that's going to act as a gradient between the light and the dark. So at this point, it's been about 3 hours, and I'm going to start just defining everything and just making everything look nice, which will lead us to our next and final step, which is cleanup. Your girl has a very heavy hand. Like back in elementary school, if the crayons weren't broken, I wasn't pressing hard enough. But anyway, I do have a lot of contrast in my work, and sometimes I want it to just appear more softer. So, what I do is pick up the charcoal a little bit with a Q tip. Or you can even use a paper towel or even your finger to pick up some of the pigment. And this just basically gives it like a nice soft look. Sorry, the camera's like picking up a lot of light. For some reason, whenever my hand gets closer to the lens, it like flares up white, and whenever I put it in hyperspeed, it just does a weird thing. Anyway, but if you don't know if you have too much contrast in your artwork, take a picture, use your phone, use a camera, and the screen will show you what you can't see. And that's what I always do whenever something looks like, oh yeah, that looks nice and gradient. I take a picture of it, and yeah, that'll tell you the truth. And from there, you can go in and fix as needed. All right, and here is the finished picture in a high quality version. This is completely unedited. Usually, I like to edit out the saturation and stuff, but since I'm kind of making this on a whim, here it is in its full glory. Anyway, guys, thank you again for watching my video. Thank you for all your awesome support. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you guys know where to find me at. Other than that, I will see you guys next time.